These are the greatest shows that have aired during ABC's history. The network has a lot of popular shows on the air right now, including the multicam sitcom Shifting Gears starring Kat Dennings and Tim Allen, along with beloved procedurals The Rookie and High Potential. When we reflect on the most memorable series that have aired over the past few decades, we realize ABC had an almost perfect show from each big genre, from an early western to a legal drama, thriller, and a medical series that is still on the air today. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, 1996 to 2003. Starring Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is a charming look at high schooler Sabrina Spellman dealing with her powers and living with her sweet, quirky aunts. Each episode is slightly formulaic, with Sabrina making mistakes and exploring her magic. And although it might seem cheesy and dated now, the series remains a nostalgic and entertaining rewatch. 30-something, 1987 to 1991. A must-watch TV show when it was on the air, 30-something tells the story of Hope, Mel Harris, and Michael Stedman, Ken Olin, an advertising writer and journalist who deal with the highs and lows of new parenthood. It's also a moving show about a friend group who love each other but are at different points in their lives. Equal attention is paid to Nancy, Patricia Wettig, and Elliot Weston, Timothy Busfield, who are having marital trouble, to smart and single Ellen Warren, Polly Draper, and Melissa Stedman, Melanie Mayron. While some of its cultural relevance has faded with the natural passage of time, it's still a beautiful depiction of marriage, friendship, and career problems. My So-Called Life, 1994 to 1995. It's not referenced as much as more recent coming-of-age dramas, but My So-Called Life remains a well-crafted series about high schooler Angela Chase, Claire Danes, her new cool friends, and her happy home life. Angela's raw voice and the show's emotional episodes about mental health, family struggles, first love, and fitting in are still impactful now. Roseanne, 1988 to 1997. With inspiration from comedian Roseanne Barr's life, the iconic 80s-90s sitcom is a bit more serious than other comedies thanks to its exploration of a working-class family's everyday experiences. It might be tricky to re-watch Roseanne thanks to the star's recent controversies, but the Connors revival has excellent character work, which proves there's a lot to appreciate about this family's relatable struggles. It's also impossible to forget the controversy surrounding the Roseanne series finale, which famously used the "it was all a dream" trope. Abbott Elementary, 2021 present. With Season 1 premiering only 4 years ago, Abbott Elementary has quickly become one of ABC's best sitcoms. The series is a fantastic and relatable look at passionate teachers at an underfunded school in Philadelphia, and talented star Quinta Brunson, who plays Janine Teagues, created it. It can be tough for a newer sitcom to stand out, especially since we have so much choice between network shows and streaming programming. But Abbott Elementary's charming characters and exploration of real issues facing schools make it special. The Odd Couple, 1970 to 1975, credit, Moviestills DB. Created and executive produced by Gary Marshall, The Odd Couple's title has become shorthand for a friendship between two people, specifically roommates, who are different from each other. The humorous tone and great performances from Jack Klugman in the role of Oscar Madison and Tony Randall playing Felix Unger make it an unforgettable part of ABC's past lineup. Desperate Housewives, 2004 to 2012. Since every Desperate Housewives season has a main mystery, and every episode is packed with emotional and thrilling moments, you're not going to be bored when watching this 8-season series. The main characters grow a lot and are different from each other to be interesting. While there are some weak storylines and deaths that are a bit outlandish, it's still a solid drama. Bewitched, 1964 to 1972. Bewitched stands out from other sitcoms since it depicts a moving romance between Darren Stevens, Dick York, Dick Sargent, and Samantha, Elizabeth Montgomery, a human and a witch. The fun suburban setting and chaotic plotlines make it a joy to watch. Although TV fans might not celebrate Bewitched all that often anymore, the light-hearted story of a witch took hold of popular culture for a while, and it's still significant. Charlie's Angels, 1976 to 1981, credit, Moviestills DB. Before the 2000 movie starring Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz, the TV series Charlie's Angels aired on ABC for 5 seasons and more than 100 episodes. With an iconic performance from Farrah Fawcett and the mysterious premise of 3 detectives working for a man who no one sees, the series remains a key part of the network's history. Dynasty, 1981 to 1989. CBS had Dallas, and ABC aired the drama Dynasty, which can only be described as juicy, for 9 seasons and over 200 episodes. Focused on the Colby and Carrington families, with fantastic acting from Joan Collins and Linda Evans, the series inspired many other nighttime soaps that heavily lean into melodrama. Leave It to Beaver, 1957 to 1963. Other ABC sitcoms might be talked about more often, but the lovable characters on Leave It to Beaver and the suburban setting are still a key part of TV history. Although Season 1 aired on CBS, the other 5 seasons aired on ABC and shared the relatable life of Jerry Mathis's child character. When rewatching, Leave It to Beaver is undeniably dated, and by now, we've seen most of the storylines before. However, Beaver's mom, June Cleaver, Barbara Billingsley, became a shorthand reference in pop culture for a housewife, and the show was one of the earliest domestic sitcoms. Who's the Boss? 1982 to 1992. With an incredible cast including Judith Light and Tony Danza, and Alyssa Milano in one of her early roles, Who's the Boss? Is a great family sitcom with a cheerful tone. The premise of a man becoming a housekeeper was meant to be surprising and captivating at the time, but it seems less of a big deal now. Still, the show made a big splash at the time. Blackish, 2014 to 2022. A long-running ABC sitcom with 8 seasons, Blackish is about the Johnson family, and it delves deeper into more serious subjects than most sitcoms. A rare sitcom can balance these important topics and still manage to be humorous. Episodes focus on the family's life, along with racism and politics. A prequel, Mixedish, and spin-off Grownish, which was about Zoe Johnson, Yora Shahidi, weren't as popular as the original show, though. Three's Company, 1977 to 1984. The Three's Company theme song has become an important part of pop culture and was an early example of a sitcom about roommates who are there for each other no matter what. The series also starred Suzanne Summers in one of her most famous roles. These days, Three's Company isn't talked about as much as some other ABC sitcoms, and doesn't come up on streaming services all that often. But it had a long, popular run when it aired on the network during the late 70s and early 80s.